We're on. All right. So, hey, let's do this thing. Fulton, it's good to see you today, my man.
Dr. Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty great, my man.
Awesome.
There's so much to talk about.
Wow.
Most of the stuff there is to talk about going on in the current events with all the BS out there, I really don't want to talk about. And I know you cannot wait to talk about it.
Come on now. It's been all week getting ready to just lay it out there so everybody can understand. And I come in and here you are saying, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, here's the thing, Fulton.
Let's hear it.
This show is sponsored by Advanced Medical Solutions.
All right.
This show is designed to reach out there. Me and you talked about it 3 years ago.
Yep.
To put out the information that people aren't getting.
Yes.
The information that there's another option other than drugs and surgery.
Yes.
And we've got phenomenal 4 years just here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, of successes of people having phenomenal results with regenerative medicine, avoiding drugs and surgery. And the purpose of this show is to get that information out there.
Yes.
Right?
I'm agreeing.
That's our purpose.
That's it.
Nobody
That's what
else
we're
is
here
telling
for.
anybody.
Nope.
We have to tell them. Otherwise, they're going to continue to suffer. They'll still question regenerative medicine, which is okay, but we need to give them an option and a way to get in and get it corrected and get it fixed. So I'm going to be talking about regenerative medicine a little bit today. You talk about what you want, and we're going to somehow we got to pull it together. Okay.
All right.
We can talk trash. We can talk current events, which is trash to me. Okay.
Yep.
No offense to everybody, Rick Roberts, Jensen, and Fulton, who loves all this bullshit out there.
Hey, why we got to lump us all into that?
I don't do this stuff. I don't watch it. I hear it from you guys. I hear it here and there. I got stuff to do. There are people that are hurting, listening right now. Their knees are hurting, their backs hurting, they're facing an operation. They don't want it. I got to reach out to those people.
Let's do it.
Rick Roberts, tell everybody where they can call me. Then we'll get back in and we'll talk about some of the BS that's going on there. Fulton, you're dying to talk about it. And just, Rick, tell them who to call. Hey, this might be the only chance you know who to call to get pain relief and get better. Rick, tell them the phone number. Don't mix it up with QVC Kinetics. That's Home Shopping Network Regenerative Medicine. You don't want that. Tell them, Rick, so we can actually get going here. Thanks, Rick. That's right. You guys can do whatever you want. You know, there's a lot of options out there.
There's not really. You say that, but in the grand scheme,
there are a lot of options. Here's your first option. Your first option is to keep doing cortisone shots. Okay.
Bad option.
You're lucky. Well, it's an option.
It is. It's a very popular one.
You're lucky if you get temporary results. You're looking at it causes mass degeneration in the local area. It raises your blood glucose levels.
Yep.
It causes blood pressure issues. If you got any high sugar whatsoever, you're not even supposed to be doing it. But cortisone is your option, and then your next option is surgery. Okay, every minor surgery is turning into a major surgery. Those are your options, and then you got QVC Kinetics and all these other doctor offices.
That's a funny one, Dr. Scott. I know who you're talking about.
QVC Kinetics, that's Home Shopping Network Regenerative Medicine. Yep.
Yes.
If you're interested in that, you might be able to get something. You might be able to save a couple $100. If that makes you feel good, great. But if you really want to get out of pain, you know, the reason why we do it is because nobody else is doing it. We're the experts. Nobody else is doing it like we're doing it, and we get such great results. I can't put it out there anymore. I know you got questions out there. You know, the regenerative medicine we have does not come from any aborted fetal tissue, no embryonic tissue. These are healthy mothers from a very specific place in a specific lab, high standard, where these mothers are giving live, healthy births, and they're choosing to save and donate their birth tissue for medicine. We use the best lab in the country. That's why we get such phenomenal and fast results. And ultimately, you got to take advantage of this as much as you can, mainly because you got to take care of yourself. There's so much trash going on out there. You get distracted. Here's the thing. Who knows where we're going to be 3 months, 3 years from now? Thank God right now we have another option, which is regenerative medicine currently, to be able to help people out. So ultimately, I mean, that's where it's at. I don't know what else to say. I know you want to talk about all this stuff going on in politics. So what's out there, Fulton? What you got?
Well, you know, let's look at the political side first of what's going on in the stem cell industry. How's the new administration going to affect that? What can we expect for patients and, the future of this industry and where it moves forward? So
I'll tell you what you can expect. I'll go ahead and tell you what you can expect. All right. Here's the thing. You got the normal politics and normal politicians doing exactly what they do, which they're fed by lobbyists.
Yes.
I want you to take a wild guess who probably the biggest lobbyist is on the planet.
Pharmaceutical.
The pharmaceuticals. And the pharmaceuticals companies, they do not want regenerative medicine out there. They don't want it. They're not gonna take it because they can't patent it, because it's a natural product. That's why our labs and everyone's having such a difficulty with the FDA, because it takes big money, hundreds of millions of dollars to get it applied as a drug. Currently, right now, we're using it as a tissue product, and it's helping people out phenomenal. But I'll go ahead and tell you, the first person and only person I've ever heard in politics stand up against the pharmaceutical industries, not necessarily in a bad way, but really holding them accountable for the damage that they've done in the past, and holding them accountable for lowering the prices, the ridiculous thousands % of markups on prices for drugs for people who need them. The only person in politics I've heard even mention that is President Trump. And here's where it's going. If we don't make a change in politics, and if we go back to the same way before, which could even be worse than before, no one's going after that. No one's going after that. Their pockets are too deep, and
they're too embedded. They're too powerful.
There's too much money in there.
There's too much money. You were
just telling me before, all this stuff goes deep back to the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the same groups and people that started the pharmaceutical industries to start with, which were really marketing people, making money, and they use drugs to do that. So.
And the FDA is as the strong arm to prevent others from copying what they had created. So they really created an environment, and once it was established, then the regulations come in, which keep the outsiders out. It's what we're seeing take place in politics and across our country
on every level. I mean, if you even look at what's happened in the past year with even small businesses and other businesses, ultimately these places are shut down. Places are shut down, but who's winning? The corporate people, the big corporate people who have those funds to secure it. They're buying everything up, all right? And it's just going into big government, big business, big pharma.
All the way around.
It is. They got the power. They got the money.
We've gone through such an adjustment, such a transformation over the past, I'd say, 60 days with where our country was headed, what was going on in our country, the distractions, the pandemic. We've got so many different vehicles of input to calculate into the everyday activity of what's going on in our personal life and how we're affected by what legislators are trying to tell us we're required to do, what they're doing to businesses, okay? And everybody at some point is going to fall within that doctrine. They're going to be caught in a net. Everybody's going to be caught. So I'm with you. What do? We keep doing what we've always done. We focus on what we do. We get good at it. We do it over and over, and that's continuing to help patients get better, feel better, and then they can get on and be productive in their life as well.
Well, everybody's waiting and watching to see what's happening politically. Just a word out to everybody listening right now. If you're in pain and you're suffering, you don't want to wait. It's not getting any better. It's not getting any better.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, and you know that. Now, you do have multiple options. Again, the great part is now, thank God, we have an option now in America to be able to do regenerative medicine. People are doing it. Here's the thing. Also, if you're in pain and you're suffering, you've been like that for a long time, and you really want to change, if you're not interested in putting the time in and spending a little bit of money on it, it's not going to happen. If you're waiting on Medicare and your insurance company to get you better, you're going to be just like you are right now. You're going to keep getting worse. I don't mind those things. I love insurance companies and things that they cover, and they cover a lot of stuff that we do in our office to help out with regenerative medicine. But if you're going to wait around on that, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in pain. And so the key is you got to have some resources. Number one, you got to have a desire. You got to truly have a desire to get better. And secondly, you got to have the time and the resources to make that happen. If you don't, it's not going to happen, and that's okay. But you got to do something. You got to do something. You can't wait around. Now, as far as these political issues go, and I'm not even talking in medicine and regenerative medicine, I'm talking about in general. All we can do is wait around. That's all we can do. You had the election. The election was determined. Now the election is being questioned. Now we're talking about these deep things of people being certain considerations of people having these criminal acts. What were you telling me before? You had some people tell you there's some deep things going on, some things being exposed on a high level with Congress, etc. What's going on?
Well, so here's the big rumor. Okay, here's the big rumor, and this information mostly comes from prior military people who did these jobs when they were there, because they have an understanding of what is in place and what our government actually has the ability to do. So President Trump has been commander in chief. He's been exposed to everything our government has been doing and the information it's been capturing throughout time. So there is a belief that Trump has the information, President Trump has the information, and the people within the military who have captured the information, because everything's digital now. You and I know everything everybody does, there's a digital footprint practically of everywhere
That's
you
right.
go, everything you do. So there's a belief that the largest percentage of Congress and the Senate, okay, have been implemented in doing things in their position for personal gain. They've been acting outside of the boundaries of their responsibility, and they have.
Well, then
used
you
it.
seem surprised.
No, I'm not surprised. What I'm surprised of is that we're finally at the point that somebody's ready and willing to call it out and stand up and stick it in their face.
Who's standing up? Who's sticking
Well,
it
you
in
know
their
what?
face?
I don't know yet. That's what I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know how much of this is actually going to take place. It makes sense, though.
Here's what it reminds me of. You know what it reminds me of?
Let me hear.
Y2K.
Ah,
That's what it reminds me
it
of.
does.
It gives me all this hype, all this stuff, all these things.
And
these
is anything going to
what's
happen or
going on.
not?
Is anything going to happen? No. And you know what the Y2Kers did? They took it to the next date, and they take it to the next date. And now we still got Y2Kers saying the end of the world's going to come, blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's the same rhetoric, the same thing. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I'm not interested. Now, I'm very interested in this country. We've got the best country in the world. I'm very interested in us living happy. What did he call it? Life, liberty, and happiness.
Yes, the pursuit of happiness.
The pursuit of happiness. But it just seems like drama to me. Seems like drama, and I ain't got time for drama. I got too much stuff going on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Completely.
And don't get me wrong, I like it. And I like you downloading it to me, and I like a couple other people sharing it with me. Mainly the people doing that are people who care about me, and they're sincere about it. But it's very dramatic, and I don't have time for that. I just don't know how it's going to apply to my life. All I know is I got to take care of me.
Yep.
I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care of my family, the people closest to me. And beyond that, I don't have a whole lot of people. The people that are closest to me are at the best medical office I've seen in town, which is at Advanced Medical Solution. We got the best team, and we got the best patients. I'll tell you this right here. We got two types of patients. And this is why I don't really talk about politics, because I don't know about it. But what I do know is we have two types of patients. If anybody's listening, I'll go ahead and tell you, if you're not one of these two patients, you're probably not going to fit in at Advanced Medical, okay? Two types of patients we take care of. Number one are the people who are suffering, the people who are in pain, the people who want to avoid surgery, or they've already had surgeries and they just fed up with it. I'm talking up to 40-some surgeries some of these patients have had.
Wow.
And they're miserable. And all they can do is they're looking for some help. So the miserable people who have nowhere else to go and they're at the end of the ropes. Thank God, those are our best patients because we're able to help them. And unfortunately, they have to trust us.
Yes.
They have to trust us. The other patient we have are the smart people. The smart people like you and me, who either they've been through it before and they're avoiding it. They want to avoid it 100%. They know what they need to do. They got to get outside of that current modern medical box of danger. And so those are the two people. So if you're one of those people, you're suffering and you're miserable, or you know someone who is, we're the place for you. If you're a smart person trying to avoid all that, we're the place for you. If you're anywhere in between, you got to get it together because we just don't have enough time. There are too many people to help out there. If you're iffy and uncertain about what you want, it's just not going to work out. We don't have time for that. What we do have time for is people who know what they want and people who are unfortunately desperate for help. Those are the people we need to help. Rick, let them know where to call real quick before we get back. Because when we get back, we're talking about some of that deep politics stuff that you were talking about, Fulton, if I can tolerate it for a couple of minutes. Thanks, Rick. So here's the thing. It's out there. It's going down. There's deep stuff. And then you got the red, the blue. Heard somebody say we need a party that has no color, no animal.
Party.
I mean, they've been saying this forever. Fulton.
New party.
I mean, I've said that about medicine. We need the new medical. That's why advanced medical exists. But we need something new, something that mixes everything together, brings all the things that are successful together. And we need that in politics. But do you honestly think it's going to happen?
President Trump really gave that opportunity to the working man, to the person out there on the street who gets up every day and puts in a hard day's work to come home and put food on the table and put heat and air conditioning in the house. And now with what is taking place with this big, the big three, you've got Apple, you've got Amazon, and you've got Google. What have they done? They've kicked Parler off. Now you can't join Parler because they're saying that Parler is what? It was used to incite the violence on January 6th. Okay? Everybody knows that Antifa communicates through Twitter's private messaging. Okay? So that's their backdoor channel. So look at Twitter. Look what's going on there. Without Trump, if you own Twitter stock, you better sell it because it's not going to have any value. When you take Trump off of Twitter, it's done.
Real quick, I just saw where both Facebook and Twitter have lost a combined $51 billion in trade.
Wait.
How about that?
President Trump's not on Twitter anymore?
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube. Yes. They're trying to silence him. They are trying.
What's that called? Isn't that called shadow banning? What's the term?
It's called censorship.
Censorship, banning, canceling, cancel culture.
Yes.
I mean, these are some terms I've heard, but I don't really dive into it.
And taking place today.
That's exactly what they do to us.
That's what they have done.
That's exactly what they do to us in medicine. Things that we know that are healthy, that are productive, that don't cause dangers. Not near a dangerous side effect with the regenerative medicine that we do compared to a cortisone injection.
And you know what? If you don't believe it, go online, go to your famous Google and search it. Search the adverse reactions to stem cells. They are so few and far between.
But it just doesn't happen.
It does not happen.
It does not happen. Yet we are locked down, censored to what we can say and can't say. And they're doing the same thing now to the President of the United States. So how is it? I don't get it. Well, I do get it, but I just don't get it. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I know what we do.
Yes.
We do what we can do.
We do what we continue to do every day.
Gonna do?
You know what? That is the $1 million question we wait to see. What is he going to do? This is not his normal style to just kind of kick back and watch the show take place. He wants to be the center of attention. He's always been the center of attention, and he does a good job at being the center of attention.
Well, he's out of the center in a few days? And what's going to happen? What's going down?
A week or so.
So what's up with that?
We shall see. All the National Guard. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows, do they? It's unforeseen time. But they're not telling us. They're not telling us. They're keeping it quiet. But here's what we do. You and I, average day man, we get up, we go to work, we continue to do what we've done and do it better. You were discussing earlier. What were you talking about? You're talking about New Year's resolution. You're talking about these people who are coming in and getting in at Advanced Medical Solution on the weight loss program. Were you not?
Yes, sir. That's right.
Absolutely. What are those people doing? They're taking control.
That's right.
Okay. They're not. They haven't given up. Guess what? That's the new breed. That's the new group who's coming forward. They want to improve their life. They want to feel better. They want to get out of pain, and they're focusing on losing weight.
And they realize they got to take, just like all of us, even in politics, you got to take responsibility for yourself. You got to take care of yourself. And if you don't move in that direction, you're one of the sheeple. Isn't that what you call it?
Exactly.
The sheeple?
The sheeple.
You just, I mean.
The sheep people.
The sheep people.
Is that it?
You go where you're told, do what you do. And that's okay as long as it's working for you.
That's
but
right.
I'll tell you, when I was 16 years old, it didn't work for me.
No.
For 4 years, they had me medicated up for migraine headaches, medicated up so much it caused digestive problems. Couldn't find out what was causing digestive problems. After sticking tubes in every orifice of my body, they wanted to explore with surgery. That's when I said, you know what? I'm out. And that's when I found a real doctor who fixed my problems. And that's why we're here today, because I want to be a real doctor with a real doctor's office actually fixing people rather than shooting them off for more drugs, which destroyed my health when I was just a kid, shooting them off to surgery like I avoided, thank God, because something just inside of me said that's not the right way to go.
No, but to follow up on what you're saying there is the root cause. You know, when you go to get health care treatment, you want to focus on the root cause. You want to focus on what's causing the problems. You don't want to treat a symptom. You don't want to treat what's happening because of the root cause, the root core to the problem. That's where the focus needs to be. That's what you do at Advanced Medical Solution, and that's what people who are out there getting prescriptions prescribed to them every day are missing. They're in that herd. They're in the sheeple, okay? Are they not? You and I work with the people.
You're right. Unfortunately, some people are so medicated they can't even understand the things I'm talking about.
When they come into your office.
Yeah, they're just so medicated that they just can't even understand it, or they just like I said, our place is for the people who are suffering and who are hopeless, and for the smart ones. The people in between they will always be there.
They're stuck.
They're stuck.
They're stuck. I mean, they're stuck in the mud. They're stuck. They're not going anywhere anytime soon.
On any level.
And anything in their life.
Yeah,
you know.
That's right.
And as you were saying, you know, just a minute ago, we get these people off of so many prescription medications. What's one of the first things you start to see? Mental clarity. Okay.
Right.
You see happiness coming out. You see joy. You see emotions. Those emotions are not numbed out with these drugs. Drugs numb your emotions.
They dehydrate you. Anybody over 50 years old is just dehydrated anyway. And to be popping these pills and to be dehydrated and to think you're not going to have a headache, to think you're not going to have problems, it's a downward spiral.
It is.
And it's horrible to see.
It is.
We just took care of a lady who's had a total of 11 surgeries.
Wow.
Recommended 2 more.
Okay.
She came in the next day after we did some regenerative medicine. The next day. Okay, now we've had people respond immediately. But the next day I asked her, and it was a typical response we see a lot with our patients. Hey, how's it feeling after the injection? Just want to make sure everything was good. And she did a whole body treatment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She did a whole body treatment, Fulton. Wow. We're talking multiple joints. We're talking a systemic treatment.
Yes.
She's in it to win it.
Yes. Committed.
Within 24 hours, I asked her, so how's the body responding? She said, I think I already have a change. I think I'm already feeling it. And that's one of the first things we hear from people. I think something's changing. I said, you know what? That means you're going to respond really fast.
Yep.
We're going to get in here. We're going to work on this. We're going to do some rehab. We're going to activate that regenerative medicine in that body. It's going to go throughout your body. I said, within 2 months, you're going to be a different lady. You're going to be a different lady. She's ecstatic.
She's excited.
She's excited. She just wants to be able to do things around her house.
Yeah.
She's very active.
She has a reason to be excited.
She wants to be able to get in the yard work. She wants to be able to clean her own truck.
Absolutely.
I said, there's a robot car wash machine right down the road. Why are you washing your truck? She said, did you see my truck? No. She pointed at it out the front window. Big, jacked up, 4-wheel drive.
Oh, yeah.
4-door Jeep, bright orange, badass truck, Fulton.
She liked it.
She said, you think I'm going to drive that through that robot car wash machine? She said, no, I'm here because I'm going to wash that Jeep myself.
That's
I'm going to wash my
goals.
own truck.
Yes.
And that's what she wants to do. She wants to be able to do things. Fulton, I'm going to be honest with you. She nor her husband, they don't want stem cell regenerative medicine. Okay. That's not what they wanted. She wants her life back.
That's right.
She wants her life back.
That's exactly right.
Just like everybody else. The majority of Americans, okay, I'll be honest with you, no offense to 80% of you out there, but 80% of people are really dumb. comparatively. But what we all want, whether you're smart, dumb, ignorant, when I say dumb, I really just mean ignorant people. You're not reading anything. Most of you are fingering your phone all day long. The rest of you are watching CNN and Fox News and all these things, and you expect to be smart. Don't conversate with me. You just don't have it going on. You're not intellectually up. That's what I mean by dumb. You're not dumb. You're just ignorant.
That's the shit.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Right? Most of you there, but that's okay. We love you anyway. All right. But ultimately, most of us, almost 100% of us, we want our lives back. We want our life back. We're doing regenerative medicine because we want our life back. I want to be able to walk, run without being in pain. We want this politics bullshit to clear out because we want our life back.
Yep. Agreed. Very well put, Dr. Scott.
We want our life back, Fulton.
That's what we all want. We want to do what we've done before. We've enjoyed that part of life, and we want to recapture it again. And you and I see that on a daily basis. That's what these people need, Dr. Scott. So, again, come down to Advanced Medical Solution, see what Dr. Scott and his team are putting together for people in pain, people who want to lose weight, and people who just want to overall feel better and become a healthier person.
That's right. And don't call us if you're in that percentile that can't understand the concept and take control of yourself. Just don't waste your time. Don't waste our time. But if you are suffering and you're miserable and you can't get any help, you're going to call us. If you're smart and you want a place that's beyond anything else, you're going to call us. And hey, Jensen, thanks for being here, my man. Rick Roberts, you're the man. Fulton, thanks
Dr.
for being
Scott,
here.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, thanks for listening. We love you. We will talk to you next week. I got a big surprise for you next week. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Dr.